every day we're sprinting to catch up, right? New technology, new people, new ideas, fast changing, endless updates. It's happening in our business, it's happening in our industry, it's happening in our personal life. So if you feel overwhelmed by the growing data clutter and you're stressed by all the knowledge you must absorb and process, read, recall, how do you stay on top of it and deal with it all? Join this event. And we're going to give you practical tools to be able to motivate yourself, to be able to change your mindset, and the methods to do all these amazing things.
Hi, everybody. This is Carolina Millan, and welcome to a new episode of Beyond the Hustle. And today we have a recurring guest. I'm so happy to be here with my favorite brain coach, one of the best ones in the world. He's also a New York Times bestselling author of the book Limitless, Mr. Jim Kwik. How are you, Jim, today?
Helena, this is it's good to see you. I enjoy spending time with you in person. Our CEO, Alexis, and I, yeah, it was one of the big highlights. And yeah, thank you everybody's tuning in to this brainy conversation.
Thank you. Yeah, Jim and I were together just a couple months ago in Florida attending a mastermind for the top 10 affiliates for Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. It was an unforgettable experience for me. And yes, one of the highlights was also spending time with you. So thank you for everything. And I've learned so much from you. And hopefully everyone is going to leave this interview today with some new knowledge for their brain, for their health, and everything. So let's dive into it.
My inspiration was my desperation. It's hard to say that out loud, but I've taken my mess and turned it into my message. I had a traumatic brain injury when I was 5 years old. I was in kindergarten class. I took a very bad fall. I was knocked unconscious, rushed to the emergency room, blood everywhere. And where it really showed up was in my learning. I had focus issues, memory issues. I would have migraines at the age of 5 and 6 every day. When I was 9 years old, I was remembering a time where I was slowing down the class because I just didn't, teachers would have to repeat themselves over and over again. And so the other kids were teasing me pretty harshly that day. And the teacher came to my defense, pointed to me, said, "Leave that kid alone. That's the boy with the broken brain." And, adults have to be very careful of their external words because they often become a child's internal words. So every single time I did badly in school or wasn't picked for sports, which was all the time, I would say, "Oh, because I have the broken brain." And that became my own identity, my own belief. That label became my limit. And I struggled every single day through elementary school, through middle school, junior high, high school. And then at the age of 18, I was blessed to find a mentor, and I was introduced to the power of the mind. I started studying, brain, because your brain is your number one wealth building asset,
Yeah.
right? But it doesn't come with an owner's manual and it's not user friendly. So we're doing this live virtual summit, Tony Robbins style, in that studio with 360-degree,
Oh,
screens everywhere, and we're just going to pour into people over 3 days. And we wanted to offer a complimentary ticket to everyone in your community. They'll get thousands of dollars of real, pragmatic, proven, powerful tools, techniques on how to remember names, how to read faster, how to change your habits. And we have some special guests coming in that are the best experts in the area of sleep and brain nutrition and mindset. And yeah, we're just gonna, it's called the Limitless Learner. And I think the faster you learn, the faster you earn.
true.
Knowledge today is not only power, knowledge is profit. And when you can easily remember client information or product information, give speeches without notes, read Tony Robbins' book in a few days. He has decades of experience. You read it in a few days. You can download decades into days. And so those are some of the topics we'll be covering over those few days. And I know you have a link that we created
Yeah.
for you, that we
Yeah.
invite everyone to join us, and we're going to start a movement of the mind, let's usher in a new renaissance for each of us, possibility and power and profit and peace by remembering we're the pilot of our brains. We don't have to be the passengers. And so we're going to give people a map and give them guides to be able to reach their goals, the things they desire and they really deserve the most.
Amazing. So, for everyone who wants to attend Jim's event, it's called the Limitless Learner, as he said. And his team gave me a specific link for my community, for my people. So, you simply have to go to thelimitlesslearner.com Carolina. We're going to put the link in the description. I'm going to put it here on the screen so you can sign up. And it's happening August 5th through the 7th, right? So 3 days. Cannot wait.
Yeah.
So since you've been studying the brain for, such a long time, what are some of your or some of the unconventional methods that you teach and that you have discovered in your research to help people enhance their cognitive abilities?
Yeah, so you need the strategies, the software on how to read faster or improve your memory, the things we'll be teaching over those 3 days. And you also need the hardware. You need to take care of your number one wealth building asset, which is your brain, right? It's not like it was thousands of years ago where our value in society was our brute strength. Today, it's our brain strength.
Yeah.
No longer is it your muscle power. Today, you're paid for your mind power. And, school taught us what to learn, math, history, science, Spanish, but there are no classes on how to learn those subjects. Caroline, look, going to somebody and saying, your kids or coworkers saying, focus, study, remember this. It's like going to somebody saying, play the ukulele, who's never taken a class on how to play the ukulele.
Yeah.
Right? School tells what to learn, but not how to learn. And so what I would say is two categories. Take care of the hardware, that 3 pound matter. And we have experts coming in, talk about the best brain foods, the best brain supplements, the best way to optimize your sleep. And then take care of the software, the methods on how to study and how to learn, how to focus.
Mm.
And, we could go give people a preview here and give some tips so that you could actually use
Yeah.
for when you join this event. You'll be able to retain what you learn and remember, and most importantly, use it. And so the most important skill for all of us to focus on is learning how to learn. It's an area that we're going to talk about at the Limitless Learner called meta learning, the
Mm.
science and art of learning how to learn. Because an individual or a team's or a family's ability to learn rapidly and translate that learning into action is the ultimate competitive advantage. You
Mm.
become unstoppable in a world where it's just so much
So
information. You buy
fast.
books and they sit on your shelf unread. It becomes shelf help, not self-help, right? And
That's a
so,
good one.
yeah. So that's the focus.
For you, what is the impact of our emotional state when it comes to our focus and retaining information and our memory?
If you learn something in a bored state, like boredom, most people felt that in school, sitting in class. But boredom is on a scale, on an emotional scale, is 0 to 10 is only zero. But if it's information times emotion, it becomes a long-term memory. If the emotion is boredom, anything, zero, anything times zero is zero. So you wonder why you forgot the periodic table or things like that. And so I want to remind everybody right now, you can do this. Just like sit the way you be sitting or stand the way you be sitting as you're listening to this, as if you're excited. You're very interested and motivated and focused. And my question is, why do you even have to move? You should be in that place anyway. But we know that your physiology is going to affect your psychology.
Yeah.
And as your body moves, your brain grooves. As your body moves, your brain grooves. And so if you put yourself in a more focused, fun kind of state, you're going to learn better. It's absolutely amazing what your mind could do when you understand how your mind works. And again, it's pretty straightforward and simple. But those 3 days, the Limitless Learner Summit, we're going to show you and demonstrate, and everyone's going to be able to do these things. On day one, I'm going to show people how to read faster, and it's measurable. You're like,
Yep.
wow, I read so much faster after learning this one thing. Or we're going to pull people in the studio on stage, and they're going to introduce themselves, and I'm going to show you how to remember each of their names, which I
Mm.
think is an important business etiquette skill. Because how are you going to show somebody you're going to care for their whatever you have to offer them, their family, their friends, their future, finances, their wellness, if you don't care enough just to remember their name? And so
Yeah.
these are real, I think, very important skills now that aren't taught in school, but
Yeah.
or at work. So it'll help a lot.
A lot of people talk about multitasking that yeah, and even how women can do it but men cannot do it because the brain is different. Like I don't know if there's any truth in that. But do you think multitasking is really possible, or it's just, something people say when they're just
Yeah.
unfocused?
So no one does it well. Women will do it generally better than men for a number of reasons. We have this 3 pound matter between our ears called our brain, and this neocortex, left is logic, right is imagination. There's this divide, something called your corpus callosum, which is like a bridging station to communication between your left and right brain. For women, it's more dense. And so there's more communication happening, left and right brain, logic and imagination. They can switch between logic and feelings and do that very well. Multitasking, for the most part, though, is a myth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really, what more accurate, we're doing something called task switching. And so the reason we want to monotask versus multitask, even when you join this event, you'll get a number of free trainings as a bonus, as a thank you for signing up to get you, primed for this event. And I talk about focus, specifically how to enhance your focus. But when you're at the event, I would encourage people when they're watching virtually from their phone or their device or their computer is to be present because you're the greatest project you're ever going to get to work on. So you want to take time, make time to create magic. Me and the other speakers, we're going to pour into you. And again, you're going to feel like you got thousands of dollars worth of value and it didn't cost a cent. But that being said, you do yourself a disservice if you're on there and you're in Slack and social media and doing everything else. It costs you three things when you multitask. Number one, it costs you your time. The thing you think you're gaining, you're actually losing. And when you go focus on one thing and you switch to something else, it could take 5 or 10 minutes to regain your focus. And that's time you lost. Also, you make more mistakes. We train some of the best doctors in the whole world, and surgeons that try to multitask during operations will make more surgical errors
Ouch.
because you can't do two cognitive activities well at the same time. It's like texting and driving, right? You're going to have more accidents. So you're going to make more mistakes trying to multitask. So it costs you time, mistakes. And the third reason to monotask, if that's not enough, is it costs you energy. If anybody listening struggles with mental fatigue and you have like these crashes, part of it is you might have too many windows or tabs open. And even if they're minimized, on your metaphorical computer, it takes up energy and it takes up space.
Amazing. Well, we have run out of time, sadly. I could keep talking to you forever, but we got to end the episode, the interview now. So, Jim, thank you so much. It's been amazing. It's been wonderful, super valuable. Everybody, you know your next step. Go register for the Limitless Learner. Simply go to thelimitlessllearner.com/Carolina. The link is going to be on the screen. It's also going to be in the description so you don't miss it. And Jim, any final words of encouragement, inspiration,
Yeah.
any tactics, anything you want to
Yeah.
share
I
for
mean,
our
I,
audience?
I want to thank you so much. I love how we're deepening our friendship and get to spend even more time together.
Yeah.
My message to everybody is what the Limitless Learner event's about is every day we're sprinting to catch up, right? New technology, new people, new ideas, fast changing, endless updates. It's happening in our business, it's happening in our industry, it's happening in our personal life. So if you feel overwhelmed by the growing data clutter and you're stressed by all the knowledge you must absorb and process, read, recall, how do you stay on top of it and deal with it all? Join this event. And we're going to give you practical tools to be able to motivate yourself, to be able to change your mindset, and the methods to do all these amazing things. So I would secure your free spot. Please share it. And my final words would be, I believe there's a version of you that's patiently waiting. And the goal is we show up every single day until we're introduced, right? And make those choices. And the things we could always control, you can control the controllables. And so it all comes down to the decision. So I hope people feel a little bit of an impetus or an inspiration to go to that link that you provided, that decision to open up a door. Because one step in another direction completely changes your destination. And so if you feel stuck in some area of your life, I've been telling you that don't shrink what's possible to fit your mind. Join us at this event to expand your mind to fit all that's really possible.
I love that. Amazing. Thank you so much, Jim. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Go sign up. And of course, follow Jim on social media. Get his book as well, Limitless, the expanded edition. And thank you so much again, Jim. You're an amazing mentor, now my friend as well. And I look forward to catching up with you again very, very soon.
I can't wait to see everybody. Be well.
Thank you.